Hello, welcome back to another pen talk. Thanks for watching. I always try to bring something new to my viewers and hopefully expand their knowledge and appreciation of fountain pens. There's a great history of pens which I enjoy exploring and look at opportunities to add something unique to my collection. So this one is one that caught my eye last year in the Washington, D.C. pen show. At that time I didn't pull the trigger on purchasing it, but I've been watching eBay and found one that sold at a reasonable price and was able to win the auction. It came in this beautiful wood box, which I don't think is an original box that the pen came in. There's no markings on it. We open up the box and we see the pen. There's another slot here opened up, which I think I will fill with the other version of this pen. It is a Parker pen. It has that recognizable clip on it. It's not a Japanese knockoff. I love the color. It's a color that you don't often see in a fountain pen, so that makes it interesting in its own way. It's a nice satiny finish. Pen is very light, but what really makes the pen unique is when you uncap it and you look at the nib. This is what's called an integrated nib. This section and nib are the same material. I love the coppery brown and the kind of gold color of the nib. The nib has an excellent amount of tipping material on it. I fell in love with this design. It's something unique, something you don't see every day, and considering it's made by Parker, also means it's probably fairly good quality. Richard Bender put on his site he loved the way the nib wrote, so we will look at that a little bit later. It's a small pen, but it fits well into the hand. It feels good. I mean, the grip section is just great. I mean, you got a lot of different places to place your fingers, and it's all very smooth. And the satiny finish gives you a nice place to rest your fingers. It's not slippery at all. It is a cartridge converter pen. There was probably an aromatic filler in here. The pen did not come with a filler. So I have a number of Parker cartridge converters, so I just stuck one in there. It fits well. They were pretty consistent throughout time on how they converters all kind of work with the different pens. The pen also posts very securely, and as you saw, there were no marks on the barrel from posting. Again, the beauty of the pen is just the design, the finish, the color, and the fact that it has this integrated nib. Just to place it in perspective with some other Parkers that I have here. You know, we have a 45, we have a 61, and we have a 180, which is another interesting nib. I haven't yet decided doing a video on this. I used this as a daily writer for a while. One side is fine, one side is medium. Again, that long grip section, it's common with Parkers. I'm not a fan of gold pens, so visually it's not a pen that appeals to me. And this was a 45, which you might be very familiar with. Again, and even a longer section. And the nib is kind of enclosed, but captured nib, or however they might want to refer to it as. And this is your classic one, which you can see there's hardly any nib showing at all. But again, there's a common theme here of how Parker did the sections, which made them unique. I figure we'd compare a size to a 78G, which is a very common low-end pen. You know, lengthwise they're about the same, but as you can see, that shows off how thin the Parker is compared to what I would call a small, relatively small pen. And of course, if you compare it to Safari, there's even a greater difference between the two pens from a size and a girth perspective. But, you know, Parker made these pens for a very long period of time. This design, obviously, the Model 50 Falcon was only in production for about 4 years, from 78 to 82. This was the last color combination that they did. They originally came out with a brushed stainless, which is very common with a lot of the pens that they made during that period of time, the 75 and such. And then they came out with a gold one, a matte black one, and this brown one. So I particularly like the brown one. I'm glad I was able to find one. Here's the eBay auction that I won. They generally sell for well over $100 in good condition. I consider this one to be in very good condition. So let's put nib to paper and see how this pen's going to work. We're going to use a brown ink that I'm very, very familiar with. I was thinking about putting a brown that I haven't used in another pen, but I thought that might not be a good thing to do because I want to be able to evaluate this nib and how it writes with an ink that I'm familiar with. So again, this is just a classic converter. The ink's a little bit low, so we're going to tilt the bottle and we're going to come up once. Got a decent amount of ink. I'm going to go down. I'm going to do this 3 times. I want to flush, and I've cleaned this nib. There wasn't much cleaning to do. The last owner, if this pen was even inked at all, there was not any ink that I could turn in it, but it's always good to do a cleaning. So we've gone up and down, and we've got a pretty good fill on that converter. We're going to wipe off, and the nib doesn't require much cleaning, which is a nice thing of this design. Again, a very light pen. We'll put up the dimensions and such so you can look at them as far as numbers go. And we'll just position this thing here so we can take a look at how this writes. My first impression is great. This is really, really smooth. Requires almost no pressure. And I think you can hear that it really doesn't make any noise on the paper at all. This is not a nib that you're going to flex. This is a writing pen. A great everyday pen, and I like this color with this pen. This ink does a nice job. So we're just going to do a short view. I just wanted to show my viewers a pen that they may not have seen before. Parker did have a Model T1, a titanium one with an integrated nib before this one, which had some quality issues, and also maintaining a price point was difficult. So it didn't last long, and this one was only in production for 4 years, this design, in 4 different styles. So thank you very much for watching. May all your writing experiences be pleasurable. May you have many. And this nib is really, really nice. Ciao.